Well, hello YouTube. How you guys doing? My name is Jared Fuller. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, 2019. It's in the middle of the night. I hope all of you remembered to set your clocks back an hour. A lot of your electronic devices automatically set the time back or forward depending on where we're at with daylight saving time. Dad and Amy are both asleep. The reason I wanted to do this now in the middle of the night, because it's actually 1:30 and not 2:30, because I have a big day ahead of me. This past week was there was a rough spot, but then overall, generally, the week was pretty good, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to take this time to remind all of you to visit GuideStar.org. GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. So, the week in review, I once again fell into a slump with my depression, and with the help of my dad and my brother and my friends, people I consider my family, they helped me pull me out of it. I want to use this time to thank my friend in Colorado who phoned me up. I want to thank my family, actually my family in Colorado who phoned me. I want to thank my family in New York who did the video chat with me yesterday. And today, I'm going to be traveling to Port Huron, Michigan. I'm going to be hanging out with some more extended family of mine. Their daughter is a Wilms survivor. We've already met. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And my hair's shorter this time, so that'll be the change from the first time we met. But we're going to meet up today, possibly have lunch, hang out, spend some time together. They're visiting from Pennsylvania. They had to come to Michigan. Unfortunately, there was a death in the family. And although the circumstances are extremely bleak, this is probably the only chance that we're going to get to see each other again, because we finally got our first snows of the season. No accumulating snow around here. I think that would be further north in the state, but it'll probably be the last time we're going to see each other for quite some time, unless, of course, I plan a trip to Pennsylvania where they live at, and we make plans there. But I will be in Port Huron, Michigan today, hanging out with a Wilms survivor, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to have lunch somewhere. I don't know, maybe at McDonald's or somewhere. I really don't know where we're going. We haven't discussed restaurants or anything like that, but I'm hoping that we find somewhere to go and have lunch and to converse and socialize and catch up on old times and talk about things. It's going to be a lot of fun today. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I've been busy. Last week, like I said, was not the greatest. I fell back into my depression and it got really severe. And so, like I said, I had my dad and Amy and my brother and my mom and my extended family from all over. They helped to pull me out of that. So much love to all of you, and thank you for being there for me when I needed you. I'm trying to do better. I'm not perfect. I'm only human, and I'm not going to get it 100% correct 100% of the time. But I'm learning as I go, and I'm just as human as you are. I get lost in my feelings. I have a rough time dealing with things, and it really pays when you have friends and family who love you and care about you, and they want to see you happy, and they care about your desire to live and your happiness, of course. And I'm probably one of the luckiest guys, I can say, and it is bias of me to say it, but I am very lucky to have the family and the friends that I have, although most days I feel alone and sad and melancholy, but I have a good support system out there. So I thank all of them, and I love you and thank you for everything. Of course, you're probably hearing Amy snoring. It's late, I shouldn't be doing this now. I should have waited until later, but I'm probably going to be gone for most of the day. I don't know what Dad's got planned today. He'll probably go hunting. He did get a deer. He got a little button buck. And he got, I think it was like 60 pounds of meat. I think it was 60 pounds or 65 pounds or something like that. He got chops and back straps and what else did he get? Hamburger. Yeah, he had chops, hamburger, and the back straps. It was a nice sized deer. Had the little horns on it. They, of course, they cut the horns off, and Dad saved the horns. But it was a nice sized deer. Dad hunts with a crossbow. But yeah, we have some meat from a tasty deer, and you know they're still roaming around, and I love watching the deer. Like when I go for a joyride somewhere, or if I go down to the corner and back on a walk, or this corner and back, the deer are always frolicking. But because of the fact that it's hunting season, I have to make sure that I wear orange because, you know, I don't want to get shot. So I have to keep that precautionary measure in mind at all times when I'm walking, especially during hunting season. But yeah, Dad got a nice button buck and a delicious button buck, if I don't mind saying so myself. It was pretty good. I can't think of anything else at the moment happening. Like I said, last week was a busy week. I hope you all had a safe Halloween weekend. I hope that your children enjoyed their trick-or-treating times, and I know a lot of my friends whose children are fighting cancer didn't get to enjoy the same kind of fun as all the other children who are out trick-or-treating. And you know, it's rough when cancer, it just, I wouldn't say completely robs, because if you're in a hospital or if you're just homebound, you know, the parents and the doctors, the physicians, if I can speak, they usually plan something at the hospital, they plan something at home, you know, something to make them feel as if they are a part of what's going on. They're a part of the festivities and the fun. So hats off to the hospitals and to the parents, the moms and dads who are sitting at bedside every day, whether it be at home or the hospital. My heart goes out to you. I love you, and you're doing an amazing job with your children. And I'm sorry that your kids, if it's your child who is battling cancer, I'm sorry that your children did not get to enjoy and they didn't get to partake in the Halloween holiday and the festivities. But someone out there gives a damn. I do, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope your children are doing okay. So, like I said, I really don't know what else to talk about. This is going to be a very quick Sunday video update, because I really don't have much to say other than what I just said. And you know, it's funny because after I say what I got to say here in the Sunday video update, I think I've got it all out into the open, and then the next thing I know, oh, I forgot to mention that, and it's too late because I would have already stopped recording and editing and uploading the video to the channel. It'll probably happen today, unless, of course, if I put together a video of me traveling to Port Huron. I haven't decided yet. I've been thinking about investing in getting a dash cam for my van. It might be useful and handy when it comes to, you know, just doing traveling and showing all of you the different sites and the different views of the cities here in Michigan. I should have done that earlier in the year when the weather was still warm, because, like I said, now we're getting our snows, and I'm not going to be doing a lot of traveling when it snows. I'm not really a fan of driving in the winter. I love snow. I love the way it sparkles on the ground, especially in the morning when the sun's coming up. It's beautiful. But I'm just not a fan of driving in snow. I mean, I do pretty good for the most part, but it still kind of makes me feel tense behind the wheel, like both hands on the wheel, and I'm as stiff as a board because I get so nervous driving on slushy or slippery roads. I remember a time I was driving to Flint at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the highway over here, M57, was a total and complete sheet of ice. And I couldn't get up to speed. I couldn't slow down right away. Driving was very extremely severely hazardous. It was dangerous. And well, I did get to Flint after all, and but then I had to come all the way back home. So it's like, what good that did. But I have recalled many times driving in dangerous winter conditions, and it's not fun, especially if you lose control of your vehicle. That's happened to me a few times, especially on the ice. But yeah, today I think the road conditions should be okay today. I'm going to drink this last little bit of Pepsi. Road conditions should be fine. I don't think roads are going to be bad today. Should be fairly decent. I don't know if there are any construction zones on 69, or because that's the way I'm going to be taking is I-69 from Flint and just going due east. And I think we're meeting at the same location as we did the first time we met, at the big hotel. So it should be familiar. I love Pepsi. So Halloween night, Dad and I were at the back 40 and drinking beer and playing Club Keno, and it was just cool because some of the parents were bringing their kids on trick-or-treating, and the costumes were just so adorable. There was a couple who brought their baby in, and matter of fact, it was the bartender's granddaughter, and she's just a little baby, and she was wearing I think it was a uniform or a unicorn outfit, and it had the pointy thing on the end, and there was a ball on the end of it, and it would flicker, like there was a light inside of it that would flash. It was just the cutest little thing. So I think that's why I like Halloween so much, is because you see all the kids in the costumes, and they're really creative costumes. And I mean, yeah, you see ghosts and goblins and pumpkins and vampires and ninjas and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man. You see all those, and that's very well cute too, but when you see costumes that are out of the ordinary, like you've got... one year, I was walking around Chesaning with my cousins, and there was a little boy who went as a John Deere tractor, and there were actual headlights on the front of it. And it's like, no kidding. And it was homemade. You could tell it was homemade. But whoever put that together, I mean, they were very creative, and they had a very good mind for that kind of thing to construct it. I think that's what I like. I just like seeing the different costumes, and the kids are having fun, and they're carrying their pumpkin buckets around collecting candy. It's cute. But we were sitting at the bar, and it was my dad and myself, of course, and our neighbor down the road here, and my cousin Robbie was there, and we were all just sitting drinking beer, talking about things, and watching the people coming in and out with their kids and doing their trick-or-treat thing, and it was a good night. It was stress-free, and I didn't think about things so much, and I just sat there and unwound quite a bit. It was a good night. I had fun. I enjoyed myself. On Friday night, I was at my brother's house because he fried up some venison, which is really good. Really good. And he's got a new girlfriend now, and in the beginning, we didn't really talk a lot because I didn't know her, and she really didn't know me. But when I opened up to my brother, when we were having, like, personal conversations, and I didn't mind the fact that she interjected into the conversation. Her input was actually valuable. And I got to talking to my brother about things that have been bothering me, and just thoughts I was having, and she's, I don't know, she's not so bad. I mean, you got to give people a chance. You got to get to know people. Maybe we were just quick to judge one another. Maybe she didn't like me for whatever reason, and I didn't really care for her for whatever reason. I don't know. But when you actually stop long enough to take the time to get to know each other, you do your homework, excuse me, you do your due diligence of actually getting to know a person and finding out information about them and just, swapping a conversation back and forth, I'm telling you, communication can get us very, very far in life. And I think that's one of the main things, one of the big things that we as a society lack the most. Is just the lack of communication. Nobody wants to do the homework. Nobody wants to investigate. No one wants to fact check anything. They don't want to do the due diligence of actually taking the time to get to know a person or taking the time to investigate things. If you really want the truth about something or someone, you just have to dig a little deep. You have to dig deeper than usual. But I'm telling you, we as a people would get very far in life if we would actually exercise due diligence more instead of discarding it and just going by what a group of people have to say. Now, in this case, there was no group of people telling me not to talk to her. As is the case with her, there was no group of people telling her not to talk to me. But we had to actually be in the same room. And this was at my brother's house. We had to actually be in the same room. And it had taken for me to open up to my brother. Usually I don't like other people interjecting into our private conversations, but I made an exception because I wanted to give her a chance. Maybe I was being the bigger person and just giving her a chance to interject. And maybe she was being a bigger person by saying something just to show that she cared. So maybe that's what we needed. We needed to just really stop and actually get to know each other. And I was talking with her the other night and getting to know her a little bit, kind of, getting the gist of her personality. She's not bad. She's not a bad person. She's really nice. She's really easygoing to talk to. But I'm the only one out of my dad's kids who is single. I don't have a girlfriend. And so when my brothers, like my oldest brother, Wayne, he's had his same girlfriend for a very long time, well over 10 years. And my other brother, my middle brother, he's had girlfriends. I don't want to put too much of his personal information out there, but he's had girlfriends along the way. And when I'm just getting to know one person, one girl, something happens to where they part ways or they both want different things, and then, I was just getting to know her, and now you're done with her, going on to the next one. It's it was difficult. It kind of made things difficult. But like I said, you have to take time to get to really know a person before you just judge them. And that the same thing can be said not just for sibling relationships. Like if your brother has a girlfriend, your sister has a boyfriend, or whatever, however it works out. But that's people in general. You have to take time to get to know a person. And this is always going to be my hobby horse, probably until the end of my life, until the end of time, is that even when you get to actually know a person, when you talk to a person one-on-one, and you actually get to know them, and you get a feel of how they are and how legitimate they are and how sincere and how real that they are with their feelings. And then a bunch of people come along and tell you something completely different and get inside your head about how that person is, then you've been lying to that person the entire time. See, that happened to me just recently. I didn't think I'd have anything to talk about, but now I do. That happened to me just recently with someone that I actually met. Her son is battling cancer, and she listened to the gobbledygook and the garbage that other people were saying, and she told me before that she wasn't going to listen to what everybody else was telling her, but then all of a sudden, boom, she doesn't talk to me anymore. She doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. It's not my loss. It's her loss, because although she met me and she got to know me and we talked on the phone and we met in person, she still wants to believe that I'm this horrible person. Adios. Not my problem no more. But, just you gotta get to know people. And after that happened, where she suddenly just believes I'm a bad person, now I know more about her, that she can't think for herself. And it's nothing against her children. I still love her children. Cancer Warrior, you know, my heart goes out to him, and I show my love and my sympathy and my heartfelt gratitude to all the warriors out there. But if you're still convinced that I'm a bad person based on what a bunch of people have to say, then please don't waste my time. I can move on, and I can stick to the same group of friends that I've always had for all these years, and they know better because they have no reason to think differently. I haven't exhibited anything obscene or anything that is against who I am as an individual, and I never will. I mean, I'm not anything compared to what everybody else is saying. I'm just being myself, which is what they don't know. And why don't they know that? Because they themselves assume things instead of actually getting to know who I am. That's why there's Sunday video updates. I get to come on here every week and talk about who I am. I don't necessarily like to put too much detail out there about what I'm doing or who I'm going to visit or who I'm going to hang out with, because I just don't need these people who have no life going and telling my friends a bunch of horrible shit and changing their minds or convincing them that something is true when it's not. I'm avoiding all that. I can just come on here and say, this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to Port Huron today, and we've already made these arrangements a long time ago that we were going to meet up, we were going to hang out. We didn't know when, though, exactly. Like, you can't plan a funeral, you can't plan, and like I said, I don't, it sucks that I can only see them on account of a family member who passed away because they're traveling from Pennsylvania to Michigan to attend a funeral. So that kind of sucks. That's the downfall. But, they're here. I think they're going to be here until, I think, tomorrow or sometime. I'm not even sure when they're going to be going back. But, yeah, I'm going to see them today. We're going to have some fun and make some memories, make some more memories. What I heard from the mom, she says, oh yeah, and she's talking about the Cancer Warrior. She says, yeah, my little warrior made a gift for you, Jared. And it's like, oh, she didn't have to do that. And it's a girl. And I said, oh, you didn't have to do that. Oh no, she wanted to. She insisted. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. I like surprises. And we'll see what happens today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm stoked. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and again, the circumstances suck, but nonetheless, they're here in Michigan, and I'm going to go meet them. I'm going to go hang out with them today, and I'm just going to make a day of it. And that's why I'm doing the Sunday video update now, because I need to get some sleep, and I have to get my things around, got to wash up, got to freshen up, change into some different clothes, and out the door I go. So, but there's really nothing else. I was at I went to my Uncle Tim's last week. It was on the 1st. Yeah, it was the day after Halloween. We went up to my Uncle Tim's, and the kids were going hog wild on candy. And usually I go trick-or-treat, like I walk around town with my cousins. I didn't this year. They never called me, so I didn't go, because they weren't even sure if they were going to go, because not only my cousin had to work, but the weather was awful. They got like 2 inches of snow up where they're at, and they weren't even sure themselves, but they did go out, and they were out for probably, according to my cousin's husband, they were out for probably a half an hour, and trick-or-treat usually goes for a couple hours. but it's no big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal at all, actually. I did get to see my cousin's husband on the 1st, on Friday, when he came down to my Uncle Tim's, and we visited for a bit, and that was it. I got the headlight fixed on my van. Well, Dad fixed the headlight on my van, and I had to get a new car battery for my van last week. $110. It set me back, and yeah, they're not cheap. But I got a new car battery, and now it starts right up. So I think my old battery was 660 cold cranking amps, and this new battery is 690 cold cranking amps. So it starts right up. I put the key in, turn it over, and it starts right up. So, it can't go wrong for $110, but car batteries aren't cheap at all, not by any stretch. But I'm just glad it was the car battery and it wasn't the alternator or the starter or some other wonky, funky shit that I don't have the money to be forking out. And the battery did enough damage, but at least my van's still running, so can't complain. Let's see, what else do we got going on? Well, I've been here for almost a half an hour already. I'm not even really sure what else to talk about. I'm just kind of sitting here rambling on. I'm doing okay. Health-wise, I'm doing okay. Mental health, it's after that meltdown I had last week, I started crying and just, I was at like a breakdown almost. I was out of control, just crying, and like I was shaking, and like I went in my room and I couldn't breathe, and it's like, it feels like anxiety or something's going on. It was bad. It was bad. I told my dad I just want to end it. I want to be gone, and that's where all my extended family came in, and because I reached out and I said, I'm just scared. I feel alone, and I can't deal with this anymore. People giving me a hard time and running my name through the mud. I just can't take it anymore. No one is doing anything to defend me, and I have to just sit here and take it. And people are just going to believe what they're told. And it's like, who's defending me? It's like there's a great injustice happening with these good-for-nothing people who sit behind a computer all day long, or behind their phones, and gossip. That's all they do. It's all they have. And I'm just trying to live my life and not bother anybody. And the ironic thing, however, is that these people who are accusing me of harassing families, well, what the fuck do you call that? When you're getting on social media and continuously running my name into the ground, you're going to shame me for doing something that you yourself are doing. And it's not enough that you don't like people. You got to run them into the ground, which is garbage. Grow up, get a fucking life, and find a new hobby. Because, the rest of us are too busy living and doing what's right in the world. But my mental health has been kind of on the rocks lately. I'm doing better. I mean, there's some improvement. I can feel some kind of improvement going on. I'm not as sad or as depressed. I just need to be around people, I think. And I'm usually, when I get around a lot of people, like big crowds of people, I kind of get nervous. Like I get anxious. Like my anxiety goes up because it's like, oh, there's just way too many people here. It's way overcrowded. And a lot of my friends feel the same way. Like if there's a lot of people around, they get really heavy in the chest, like, oh, there's just way too many people. I got to get out of here. I have that issue. Like if I'm around too many people, I got to just eliminate myself. But if there's smaller groups of people, like my brothers, or, especially people I know, like my dad, Amy, of course, my brothers, my mom, my stepdad, Jim, you know, people that I know, or just family and friends in general, people that I know, it doesn't bother me to be around those people. It's just when there are large groups of people and a good majority, an overwhelming majority of these people I don't know, it does kind of make me feel somewhat tense. But that's one of the reasons, and of course the depression, and it's really hard to counter all of this at once when it's all coming down on you like a ton of bricks. And you have jackasses on the internet who don't help matters at all. They make, not only do they make fun of people, they use a person's mental health against them as a weapon, which I think is the absolute most disgusting, most chicken shit thing you can ever do, is to use a person's mental health as a weapon against them. You really got to be really extremely fucking low to do something like that. I would never do that. It's people will do anything to hurt somebody else if it makes them feel good, if it makes them feel better about themselves. And you know what? If my attitude is, if I can make somebody laugh, even at the most dumbest thing in the world, okay, then I've made you laugh. That's a win for me. I'm okay with that. I'm content with making people laugh, even if I look foolish and ridiculous in my Sunday video updates every week that, you know, they get shared around vigorously on social media, and people like to take my videos and twist it to make it sound like I said something I didn't. You know, whatever floats your boat. I really don't care. But it's not stopping me from living my life. I'm still going to get out and do things, whether you like it or not. And, you know, all of this talk about, oh, Jared harasses families and I have the evidence for it. Well, okay, if it's really something to ask questions when you've been wronged and you ask questions, if that's so wrong, then you're part of the problem. You are the problem, actually. If you've got nothing better to do than to egg people on and make somebody else feel horrible about themselves to make yourself feel better, you're just a nothing. You're a nothing burger. Period. And I, for one, get sick of it. And the reason why they keep doing it is because I'm talking about it. I talk about it every week. And it's, Jared, you're a moving target. Well, you know what? Then tell them to fucking leave me alone. And I won't talk about it. People got to know what's going on. And I always tell people, if you've got something, if there's really something big that you've got on me, something really, really severe, that, oh, it's against the law and he's done something horrible, that's what do you call it, immoral, and it's illegal. So instead of talking about it back and forth on Facebook, why don't you put it in a police report? I'm speaking English here, guys. Police report. Obviously, you know where I live, and I'm not a hard person to find. If it makes you feel good, put it in a police report. Why hasn't it happened yet? Such a bad guy, right? Then put your evidence in a police report. Press charges if I'm so horrible. It hasn't happened yet. So, I don't know. It's kind of ironic to me that I'm so horrible, but yet no one wants to do anything. So, yeah, whatever. But I don't feel like talking about that every week because I don't like to give too much credit. They get their 15 seconds or 15 minutes, depending on how long I ramble on about it. I give them their, little spotlight. I'm over it. I just want to be happy. I want to be happy in my head. I want to be happy in my heart. I want to be happy with my friends and my family. I want to feel love and laughter and pleasant experiences. I want to feel all of those positive things. I want to be surrounded by positive energy all the time. And I don't want to be around all the bullshit and people who are up to no good and causing problems for everybody else. I want those people excluded from my life. And I will do anything. I'll bend over backwards to keep those people out of my life. Because life is too short to feel depressed all the time. And if you're one of those people who feel depressed and you feel as if you have sunk into a dark spot in your life, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, reach out to me in an email and we'll talk. Because I've been there. Depression is pure hell. And if you are one of those people who are really and truly and sincerely in that spot in your life, it doesn't necessarily have to be tied in with childhood cancer, because childhood cancer, watching your child fight cancer is depressing in and of itself. But for any reason, it doesn't have to necessarily be childhood cancer, but any reason at all, if you are in that position where you feel as if there is no hope and you're just digging a deeper hole with your depression and you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me in an email. We'll have discussions. Our discussions will remain confidential. And if I feel safe enough to give you my phone number, I'll give you my cell phone number. We can talk. We can have a voice-to-voice conversation. I know what that's like. And it's one of the most scariest things in the world. And childhood cancer, for me, is the absolute scary of scary. But depression is really, really scary. You find yourself thinking things that you don't think in any normative circumstance. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't have any motivation. You sleep a lot, or you eat comfort food like I have, and that's why I gain weight. You can't find a reason to get out of bed. Reach out to me and vent to me, and we'll have a discussion. Because, you're not alone. I'm not alone. I have people who email and text, and, I still have Messenger. People keep in touch with me all the time. I love them dearly. I hold them close to my heart. And while I try to smooth it out and I try to reach out to people evenly, on an even keel, it gets difficult sometimes because, being an adult is difficult. It's difficult in terms of maintaining a relationship where you have the constant communication. I get it. I get busy too. Like today, I'm going to Port Huron, as I've pointed out like 5 times now. So if you do message me and I don't respond right away, please don't take it personally. Maybe I'm too busy driving, or something else has happened, something else has come up, or maybe I'm just having too much fun with my friends. Just don't take it personally. That's all I ask. And I would be friend enough to actually say that. Don't take it personally. And it's easier said than done, I understand, because you want to hear from your friends. You want to feel like you have a position in someone's life. And I get it. I've been there. That's what causes depression, is that you feel valueless, you feel empty, you feel void. You don't feel as if you are a part of whatever's going on in the lives of your friends. I get it. It sucks. So, I've even discussed that here, where it's like, my friends have time for all these other people, but when it comes to me, I mentioned that last week, and I was really verbose last week in the video update. But now I'm looking at it like, what? There are people who care. They just get busy. But even still, I have friends who call me. I have friends who text me. I have friends who email me. They private message me in Messenger. I still have all those communications opened, and I'm not a hard person to find, which is I find it again, the irony is thick, because I'm not a hard person to find, and when people say that I'm doing something wrong, breaking the law or whatever, breaking the law, okay. When they accuse me of this, it's like, if that were really the case, I'm not a hard person to find. Come and get me, or come and talk to me about it. I don't understand. People are just, they're just, and I hate to put it this way, I hate to phrase it this way, but they are fucking losers who have nothing better to do. And again, I would much rather surround myself with people who are loving and caring and compassionate. And, oh, Jared, you've gone on record shunning people who are caring and compassionate and affectionate. No, helping people, generosity is a must. Everybody should be helping each other. Everybody should be setting examples for other people. I don't agree with the idea that we should be doing things strictly for popularity, for notoriety, because your motives for doing things are incredibly weak. You should want to help people for the sake of helping people, not just to look good in front of everybody. That's what I'm trying to get at, and that's what I've been getting at for the past, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer in these videos, is that most of us aren't out to look good in front of everybody. We're not concerned with maintaining an image. We help people because we love people. We care about people. We don't like to see people hurt and struggle because we understand the hurt and the struggle ourselves. I've done a lot of things to help people. I don't keep an itinerary or some kind of a black book hidden of all the people I've helped and how I've helped them. Because I get inner validation. I don't need people bragging about me. And now I've made it a habit where if I do help somebody, I tell them, just please don't put it on social media. Don't put it on social media. I don't want the recognition. Let me just help you. And if my helping you, if my good deed helped you in the long run, then I'm satisfied. I don't need external validation. I have internal validation, which is the satisfaction of knowing I helped. I don't have to brag about who I am and what I am. I just go out and do it. Because I don't even make it known who I help. And it's kind of nice too because, you can have at any time, one of my haters could find somebody random and they could happen to be one of my friends that I've helped, and they could try convincing one of my friends, oh, Jared Fuller's this and Jared Fuller's that. And look, I got a screenshot of an unjustified claim. Well, you know what? I disagree because Jared has helped me. I don't see that with Jared. Jared has always been sweet to me. And unless you have evidence if you have evidence of the nature of the claim, then I'm not at all interested in anything you have to say. And when they have their feet held to the fire, then they want to resort to, oh, so you're defending Jared Fuller? No, they're not defending me. They're looking at this from a rational stance. What they're saying to you is, if you're going to accuse my friend of doing something, it's going to take a lot more than just a screenshot of a claim that has not met its burden of proof. You just read something and, oh, must be true because it's written right here. Well, that's a crock of shit. You have to back up your claims with evidence. With actual evidence, not just evidence that someone made a claim. Evidence of the nature of that claim. The truth that you put into it to make it true. The evidence that goes into that claim to give it the truth value. That's how rational, critically thinking minds work. And I have to say, I am friends with many, many rationally, critically thinking people. So, and the bullshit that all my haters come up with, there's a conflict between what they say versus what they can show. And so far, all they've shown is a screenshot of an unfounded claim. That's it. Because, dab nabbit, I would be in jail right now if I really did something wrong or something bad. I would be in jail. I might even be in prison, which I've never been. There's no record of me anywhere ever being incarcerated for anything. So, you've got nothing to worry about there. But anyway, I'm really going to ramble on here if I don't stop now. I've been here for about 46 minutes, 45 minutes. So, I don't want to spend too much more time here. Remember to set your clocks back an hour if you didn't already. And just try to have a good week. I'm going to try to have a good day today. I can't wait to see my friends again. I can't wait to get my surprise from the Warrior. And it's going to be a good day. Hey, Barkley. Hey, bud. Hey. But I'm going to get this video saved and edited. I'm going to get this lamp off so Dad can get to sleep because he's listening to me talk, and my talking is keeping him awake. And I'm going to try to get some sleep myself. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching another installment of the Sunday Video Update. My name is Jared Fuller. Come back again next week, will you? Dad and Amy will probably be awake, and they will have some input. And they'll help me along with I don't know, dialogue, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Again, like I said, the offer is on the table. If you are one of those people who are battling a deep depression, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're a parent of a cancer warrior or a child fighting cancer, and if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. And my email address that's listed in the About tab section of my YouTube channel. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I will respond to every email. So please do. Please reach out if you need me. And despite the fact that I'm going through some troubling times of my own, I will still make time for my friends. I will still make time for you. So, much love to all of you. Thank you for watching. I will try to have a good week, and hopefully this week will be better for me, and I hope it'll be better for you as well. So, peace out.